agenda. Who should use consent agendas? How can consent agendas be used effectively? When should a consent agenda not be used? I have given Mr. Chudenik a copy of this white paper for the district website to keep the taxpayers in the loop as to what a consent agenda might entail. I also have a copy for each member of the media to be used to also keep the taxpayers in the loop. Hopefully I will see an article in the print media explaining this concept to the public. Personally, I would like to thank all those individuals who called, emailed me personally, met me for face-to-face conversations, or sent messages to the school website. I received more contacts in 2 weeks than in my previous 14+ years. The ones I did speak to on the phone and in person were a refreshing group. I listened to them, thanked them for their input, and explained I had also heard from others who shared a different perspective. They were articulate, passionate, and readily acknowledged there are a variety of positions in this community. This brings to mind an old parable, and this applies only to myself. An old Cherokee Indian was speaking to his grandson. The fight that's going on inside me, he said to the boy, it is a terrible fight. It is between two wolves. One is evil. He has anger, envy, sorrow, regret, greed, arrogance, self-pity, guilt, resentment, inferiority, lies, false pride, superiority, and ego. The other is good. He is joy, peace, love, hope, serenity, humility, kindness, benevolence, empathy, generosity, truth, compassion, and faith. The same fight that's going on inside you. The grandson thought about it for a long moment and then asked his grandfather, which wolf will win? The old Cherokee simply replied, the one you feed. My circle of friends and the people with whom I interact on a regular basis know I feed the second, and do not begin their conversations by saying that as a school board member, I must force the president to resign. As was stated in an email I received, many understand the Dauphin County Tax Claim Bureau has a process in place for a resolution of unpaid taxes. As the minutes of the last meeting will reflect, I explained this process in detail, but the existence of this process was not reflected in my comments to the press. An additional writer was outraged that I implied unpaid taxes were acceptable because no one had contacted me. Again, I never stated unpaid taxes were acceptable. I did state the Dauphin County Tax Claim Bureau has a process in place to resolve this issue. I'm concerned that in a community as educated and erudite as Derry Township, some members cannot or will not acknowledge there are opinions different than their own. I'm concerned that after patiently and quietly listening to other board members express their concerns in this venue, my comments offering an opposing view were met with boos and catcalls. I'm somewhat outraged that some rude individual posted online that I will be at the Information Center on Wednesday from 12:30 until 3 if members of the community would like to chat with me. That was inappropriate and unacceptable. That time and location is for me to serve the visitors to the community. It was not mentioned where Dr. Parrish might be performing surgery if one wished to stop at operating New Mexico to chat with him, nor mention of where Dr. Koenig meets her clients, where Dr. Donahue interviews prospective medical students, or where Mr. Barrett or other board members work. As a retiree, I volunteer in many areas of this community, and I am